So, Ink, you heard distinct sounds of something that you are all too familiar with, the turning of pages.
Yes.
Roll me another. Now that you've picked up on something, I want you to roll with advantage on a perception check.
Should I be okay? That's
So just do a perception.
Wait.
Or would this be investigation?
Well, I already just rolled a perception. That was pretty good. So maybe we should
Go ahead, roll an investigation too, just to see.
Okay, hold on.
You know that it's in the tavern. Yeah, that's good enough. All right, so to your right, with your tabaxen ears, you kind of can tell it's coming from the right a little bit. And you look over and you see two individuals standing next to the fire. One sitting in a chair. You see a giant book in her lap, and you see the tavern worker talking with her for a moment, and then handing her a glass of tea or something before she turns around and comes back this way. Stops by Jenkins and Grinroll. Just kind of hugs Jenkins and Grinroll for a minute, and then makes her way over to the table with you all to see if y'all need anything.
Well, I'm good.
Man, the
She said
moving
that
of the
she's
icon
content.
is beautiful.
I kind of wish I could actually put a trail for it to move on, but I cannot. So she's teleporting across the map.
Ona doesn't even notice the waitress is there at first because she's so intrigued with the dang ferret. And she's like, oh, hi!
She's not teleporting.
What? No,
She's moving across the map.
I know. She just doesn't notice the waitress is there at first.
No, Max said she was teleporting. Anyways,
So she comes over to the table and checks on you all to see if y'all need anything. Is everyone here good? Can I get y'all anything else to drink? More water? More ale, Sybil?
Ink is just flat out ignoring her. Not to be rude, but because other things are happening, and she's trying to like look around her at whoever was rustling the pages, and to see if she could identify that person indeed had a book.
Oh, she does. You see a
The lady
massive.
at the fire.
Yeah, you see a massive tomb.
Okay, this is what happens. Sneaky, 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 sneaky,
Nikki.
sneaky, sneaky.
Roll a stealth check.
I just love the sneaky.
oh, 10 out of 10.
Okay.
I'm a
So
slithery little-
you managed to get on the literally on the table.
I'm crouching over her,
Yeah, over her, looking at what she's reading.
and I'm gonna read as much of the page as I can before she notices me.
Oh.
What does it say?
Okay, so you're able to sit there and you get done with the first page, and it's in the middle of a story.
Ooh.
Middle of it's from what you can tell, you're not sure if it's real or not, but it's talking about a young wizard who is just got turned down by an older woman that he's been infatuated with for a while.
Burn.
But now, are you saying this as Jessica or as Ink?
In my head as ink.
Oh, man.
As you start on the next page, you start reading that he has kind of gone back to his best friend and told about him being turned down. And before you start kind of getting into it, you hear the book slams closed. It's like, can I help you?
I like that story. Can you please open book?
And she looks at you whimsically. It's like, well, if you want to read it, you are more than welcome to. I just feel odd knowing that someone's just decided to look over my shoulder.
Ink did not want to interrupt the reading. She just wanted to join.
She very slowly opens the book back up. But you're overlooking the shoulder of a short dwarven woman with a bunch of blonde hair and blue travel marks all over her. She starts reading further, and you guys spend a good. Let's see, where's my D4? There's a D4. Y'all spend another, say another 10-15 minutes reading it. You kind of make a couple more pages. You learn that that young wizard confided in his best friend, who then in turn confessed having feelings for him, and they ended up just getting together, and you can kind of tell this is a very badly written romance novel. But
Ink does not care. Ink thinks this is truth.
And you get to the end of the story, and the young wizard and his best friend end up getting married and having 3 kids themselves.
Ink is like holding back tears.
And
'cause she thinks it's so sweet.
this dwarven lady looks over to you and said, "Are you okay?"
Give Ink a moment.
And she hands up like a little handkerchief to you, and she's like, "Here, dry your eyes, my dear."
Ink like clumsily like pats at her face because she's not sure what. She's never used a handkerchief. She just lets her tears flow unashamedly.
The dwarven woman asks you, like, "Would you please have a seat? You're making me a little uncomfortable."
Oh, sorry. Ink is not used to common people's customs.
Oops.
All right, so you sit down in a chair next to her, and you two talk about the book. She introduces herself as Jorena Frostforge. You learn that she owns a library and bookstore in town called the Pied Piper. You two talk about books.
Ink scooches closer.
She's at this point like, whatever. It's like, I guess it's just how it is now. It's like you two start talking about books, and she invites you whenever she opens up shop in the morning to come by and take a browse if you would be interested in books. She's like, you don't get many people who enjoy a good book in this town.
Ink is going to completely skip over the part to where she's welcome to come tomorrow when it opens, and she's going to just be like, "Ink will come now. Where is this library?"
No, that's not how it works in this land, my dear Tabaxi friend. I don't even know your name. I do apologize.
It's Ink on Skin of the Lurking Mistress.
It's nice to meet you, Ink. You mind if I call you shorten that to Ink, because that is a mouthful.
Ink is okay with this.
Well, Ink, it's proper custom in this area to wait until the business is open before you come in.
Can Ink get special permission to go to library right now?
It's closed.
But you own library. So
I am very protective of my books. I like to be there when I have patrons, and I am trying to enjoy an evening talking about books, if we may. I have a book here if you would like to read another one.
very well. Ink respects your wishes and is very appreciative of your love of books. Please read.
She hands you a small book. You start flipping through it, and it looks like it's a let me see. I have a list of. I actually had to find a table of books. Let's see. What do I want this to be? Let's see, what one do I want? Okay, that's a table of 100, so... That for me, too.
I didn't even realize Jenkins is still here.
He's still here. Like, why hasn't he left yet? I don't know. We love you, Jenkins.
I do the heart sign since I'm at the end of the bar.
Of course you fucking do.
This one's perfect. Okay, so the book, you read the title, and it says, There, and Back Again. A Halfling's Guide to Grammar.
My old friend Winston would say that this is a good book for Ink. Ink needs to work on her properness.
The dwarf kind of laughs. It's like, don't we all? Don't we all? Don't worry. You can borrow that one for the evening if you wouldn't mind returning it to me within the day or so. Think of it as your first library book.
So Ink's eyes are gonna go big like Puss in Boots, like just the adorable kitten stare. And she's just going to hold the book and like hold it up to her eyes and then look at Dorena and just be like, Ink will take the best of care of this book, and I will be at the library tomorrow morning at dawn.
Fair enough. I look forward to your company then. So she asks, but before you take that book, please sign. She hands you a little notebook. You start opening, you see names in the title of the book, and she writes down the book title and asks you to sign next to it.
Ink's gonna pause, and she's gonna be like, "Is this a test?"
No, this is just I like to keep track of who has my books, and even though I trust you, I still like to know who had it when, and it's just for my own sake. You just say I'm very protective. Let's just put it that way.
Okay. And Ink will sign in Tabaxi or Tabaxin or whatever you want to say.
And she looks at us like, is this the ancient script of Tabaxi?
Yes.
I've only seen it. I've never been able to translate it. Would you be willing one day to sit down and help me do a loose translation? I got a few books in my collection, in my personal collection, that are in Tabaxin, and I've not been able to translate them.
Yes.
Ink. She claps her hands.
We go right now. Ink will help.
No, morning.
Cursed morning.
She pats you on the shoulder. Said, "We deal with that tomorrow. For now, you read book that you have, and tomorrow we will have some fun."
Okay. Ink has accepted compromise. I will not get any sleep as I brush up on my Tabaxin. My ancient written Tabaxin.
Well, it's normal Tabaxin, but for
normal ancient written Tabaxin.
most scholars, they haven't really seen the Tabaxin language so long, so to them it's long forgotten. So
but Ink's good. She's good. She's got it.
Yeah, no,
okay.
You're perfect.
She just tried to floof it up a bit.
Just a little bit.
Backfired. It's okay.
So you nestle back into your seat, I take it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna sit right next to her, and I'm just gonna read as fast as I can. I don't know how big the book is.
It's a typical grammar book.
Okay.
It goes into depth about pronouns, adjectives, adverbs, and right combinations of sentence structure. And
does it mention anything about the third person?
Yes, it mentions first, second, and third.
Ink will just say that she's like muttering to herself. She'll be like, "Oh yes, Winston said something about this third person," and then she's gonna be like, "Ink, I must not use third person."
Oh my goodness, she's so horrible.
So you two just sit in each other's company. She opens her book back up, and keeps reading while you take a look at that book that you have. And
How feasible is it? How quickly could I read through this book?
it's roughly, say it's roughly 300 pages.
I knew you were gonna say 300, and I don't know why.
Because you're evil.
I had a friend who could read 300-page books in a night.
Is there like an intelligence check or something that I could make to see how many I could read in like an hour?
Let's just say it would take you the better part of the evening.
Well, this is all Ink's doing until the book is read, so that's happening.
Max, can we see how fast she's gonna read it?
Hold on. Go ahead and roll. And I don't even know what fucking roll to make on this one.
Intelligence? Perception?
Intelligence, perception.
Roll
I was gonna say
a-
sleight of hand.
What
Roll
about
a
investigate?
intelligence and. Hold on a second.
Anything we can do to make your life inconvenient.
How it just sounded, it sounded like he was storming off, muttering like,
God
Really?
damn
He was
these
kind
people.
of like, with his hands behind his back, looking at something intently. So close enough.
How the fuck am I supposed
He
to
had to
create a
step
roll
away.
for this?
Yeah.
Damn players! I better kill them off soon.
Bobby, stop staticking.
I'm surprised Oscar's still here,
Oh,
personally.
sorry, my microphone hit the desk.
Bad coffee. Actually, it's okay. I ruffle every night.
Yeah,
Would it be
Ruffles.
Alright, we're gonna do a collection of
Performance.
rolls.
Okay.
Do a.
What if you just compromise with performance?
Performance and intelligence.
I mean,
I mean, performance is reading is a performing action. Like you gotta.
And performing the task.
That was my stab at it.
No, I like. Yeah. But I can't.
Let's do an investigation and a sleight of hand to make sure you don't rip the page.
Oh dear God.
Oh boy, book's about to be destroyed.
I mean, I gave her my word. I'm not gonna be reading to the point to where I'm gonna destroy public property.
You also have claws.
Oh God.
Oh dear God. She's not gonna be reading this book very fast. We've just
Hand
lost
now?
ink for a while.
Side-
Okay.
side hand?
Yep.
Be good? Okay, that's better.
Okay, so some of the wording in this book, it's a little dry, and you find yourself having to reading passages a couple of times and then practicing it, muttering to yourself a little bit. So it takes a little bit longer than a normal book would, but you're so engrossed in it that you don't mind the time.
Okay,
So it takes you the better part of the evening. So
that is totally fine.
unless someone interrupts you, you're going to be doing this for the rest of the time.
In which case, I will give them the kitty death glare. So you better not all fucking interrupt me. Just saying.
Oh.
I think we might have learned already, like during our travels. We tried to talk to Ink when she was reading before, and we just got glared at so hard, we decided to just back away slowly.
Yeah,
and
she just like
never
hissed at
approach
us.
her
She's
again.
like, I killed you.
All right. All right. Who is next?
I believe it was Eldon. Since Eldon didn't really get a conversation, he was going to talk to
Oh, somebody just dipped.
waitress.
Nope. The waitress is there, but she's in the back.
Dip,
Oh.
dip, dip, dip.
The evening is starting to get a little late, so some of the patrons have left. Sybil and Onai are sitting there just still talking about music and their instruments a little bit.
And ferrets.
And
And
Eldon Eldon is eyeing this guy next to him. So,
You're kind of staring at him kind of directly, and this guy is
Yeah.
just sitting there looking ahead, trying to ignore you.
you don't really seem to be from these parts, my friend. Can I buy you a pint?
I could say the same about you, but I'm not buying you a pint.
Oh.
And he's like, you really are not from here, are you?
Yeah, well, are you? Eldon's getting a little bit more serious. Feeling like somebody's trying to intimidate him.
The guy kind of scoffs a little bit. You get the feeling that he's a little stuck up.
Oh, perfect. Oh, perfect.
Like,
this is going to be fun.
He says, I am Thomas Teviano. I am the son of the Earl of this town.
Is that supposed to mean something to me?
You are a peasant beneath my foot.
Oh, really?
It's going down, guys. Shit's going down.
His owl pecks him in the side of the head, and he says, Uther, stop it, now.
What has entitled you to this much arrogance, young one?
Young one.
Young one.
I'll have you know I'm 100 years old.
Slightly.
So you are still young, because I'm going to take it you're an elf, and that is still young.
Compared to you,
Where do you get this arrogance from, young man? I come up to here and offer you a beer, and you dare to treat me like this? You are nothing, son.
Oscar sees this conversation get a little more intense.
He stands up and palms his sword a little bit. He's not going to draw it. He just stares at you.
I wouldn't.
And
Oh boy.
I wouldn't. Have you ever seen combat?
Wait.
he stares at you and says, I served on the front lines in the last war. I have faced more demons than you can ever imagine, young Azamar.
Oscar walks over, like, stompingly, like, intimidatingly, just so he's overhead of him.
As he's saying that, you see him, pull apart his shirt, and you see a massive gash in his chest.
We all have scars from that war, my friend. That doesn't entitle one to arrogance.
No,
I was up
but
front as well.
These are dire times. And he just walks away.
Oh, I'm coming back for him later.
Where do you think you're going, asshole?
Go, Oscar. Go for it.
Get over here. I'm not done talking to you.
Onai looks at Sybil and she's like, I'll be right back. Oscar,
Sybil,
what are you doing?
You don't talk to my friend like that. And I might not be intimidating, but I sure as hell can be.
If this guy stays in the bar, I move over there. But if he decides to just walk on out, I'm going to just ignore him.
My friend was
For the
just trying
moment.
to have a fucking conversation with you. And you treat him like that?
he's going to walk out unless anyone does anything.
I grab him on the
Oh,
shoulder.
I was going to say, then I'm going over and I'm grabbing his ass.
I grab him on the shoulder and turn him around. Because he technically is facing the other way.
Make a strength check.
What's my strength? It's like a plus something. It's +1. 16.
You managed to grab him, but not enough to turn him around.
Fuck!
Because he managed to start moving just enough to keep his footing,
Mm-hmm.
but you definitely have a hold of him.
How tall is he?
He's definitely shorter than
He's
me.
short, right?
He's about 6 foot.
That's still shorter than me. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
I just
He says, Goliath, you take your hand off of me now, or I will call the guards.
I cast charm person.
Oh my god!
You can try.
Oh my god. Oscar,
All
honey,
right.
baby.
Let me get the definition for charm person again.
Just for the record, Onai has her hands like, I don't know if she can reach Oscar's arm, but she's trying to get him to just, no, we don't want to cause any trouble. We've been here for like 5
Eldon
hours.
steps in front of Onai and shoves her behind him because he is in fact stronger than her.
Onai just goes over here and
I can't
squishes
remember.
Do Oscar and
I
Eldon.
is that a save or what?
Because she's smaller than Eldon.
All right. It's all right. So the duration is an hour. You attempt to charm a humanoid you can see within range. Ad, get out of here. I was in the middle of reading that.
Oh, come on. We're in the middle of something good. Come on, Ad.
I was in the middle of reading that. Now I can't find it again. Jesus. Oh, God. Whoever's in charge of advertisements, fuck you.
Just saying.
I casted. Okay.
So I must make a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom
against
saving throw.
your DC.
Yeah.
And because he has elven background, he has advantage.
Fuck. Okay. Still go with it.
Okay, he rolled a 18 plus whatever his fucking wisdom's gonna be. I don't have a clue, so I'm gonna say +1. So he got a 19.
And my spell
your-
DC?
Yep.
Oh, shit. Okay. That didn't work.
Consider him
He-
not charmed.
He feels you try and charm him, and he's going to take his arm and elbow you in the solar plexus. So
Can I take a saving throw of any
nope,
kind?
this is a straight attack. This is a surprise. So, and he rolled an 11 on the die, so that definitely hits.
Yeah, by 1.
I cast Shield of Faith on Oscar just because
Too
this
late.
guy's
Too
pissing
late.
me off.
This is
Damn it!
This is a surprise. So,
Damn it!
Takes 6 points of damage because since this is an improvised attack.
Deal.
And roll another strength check to see if you maintain a hold of them.
Nope. Dead don't.
He hits you, he steps away, turns around, and he's like, "You have made the biggest mistake of your life."
And I walk up to him and I stare down at him.
Before he said, "Richard, maintain control of your patrons here before I strike them down."
Oh.
Richard walks over and places a hand on you and Oscar. And he's like, "That's enough, boys. I'm cutting you off."
He started it.
Richard has done nothing wrong to me, so I am not going to contest him in any way, because that's
It's
not
like,
the way
"Boys,
Elden rolls.
I do not condone fighting in this tavern, even
enough.
if the Earl's son deserves it."
Fair enough. I hold no
You-
quarrel with you, so
You
it's
hear
your
Thomas
establishment.
kind of scoff at him and turn around and walk
This is
away.
what it's called to respect your
Oscar-
elders, young one.
Oscar's face is just like, I'm angry. Like you don't see Oscar angry. This is the face that you don't see. of
Don't worry,
Oscar.
Oscar. I'm pretty pissed too. Somebody needs to learn how to respect people. We'll deal with that. But while we are in this man's establishment, it is his rules, and he has done nothing wrong to us.
I know. But Brett's gonna get some his way sooner or later.
We will be on our
Richard-
way, sir. Thank you.
Richard pulls you both back inside. He actually, you cannot stop him.
No, I don't think I
literally-
could. He looks like a very big man.
He quite literally, even though he's shorter than you, Oscar, he picks you up.
Yeah, he looks big. I don't think I could contest his strength.
And he takes you both to the bar and sits you both down and walks around and then slams another thing of ale in front of both of you.
Thank you.
He says, "You got to ignore Thomas there."
What's his story? Which I'm sure you're about to tell me, but what's his story?
Well, I'm sure you've heard about people dying here recently because of the beast out in the woods.
Yes.
His old mentor used to live on a farm to the northwest of here a little bit. He recently vanished, and Thomas has been looking for weeks for him. He was essentially one of the first victims that disappeared. Thomas and him were very close, mostly because Thomas's father was too busy running the town whenever he was young to really pay him any mind. The man is more like a father to him than his own father is. And he feels responsible for the things that's happened since he's returned to the war. You know how the ghost of your past never really leave you. From what I've heard, he was the last remaining member of his unit that infiltrated a demon stronghold, and quite honestly, the demons left Thomas alive to be the messenger, which is where he got the scar from on his chest.
Unfortunately, while Eldon understands this story, he does not feel sympathy towards him, as he has had same experiences and has not turned into a prick.
The whole father thing doesn't affect me either, Eldon. Well, you know what? I guess I'm talking out of character because Eldon, Sam just said that out of character.
Yeah, I guess I did.
Oscar doesn't feel empathy either, or sympathy, I should say. Sympathy, like he doesn't feel sympathy at all. The fact that, like, he grew up in a Goliath village, like
Yeah.
Goliath, like we said last time, Goliaths are literally born as just little adults. They're taught from day one to be the competitive, the like independent, and shouldn't be relying on anybody. So he's the one oddity out of the entire village that just didn't grow up that way.
So unfortunately, looking for sympathy, you're barking up the wrong tree, because Eldon's background does not make him sympathetic to people who turn out like that.
Richard kind of nods at you and says, understandable, but he's not looking for sympathy. He comes here, he has his drink, and he goes home. Everyone here simply lets him be, because he's quite honestly a righteous fuck.
Mm-hmm.
He's older than most of us humans in the town, and most other races as well.
It's
But
still relatively
doesn't-
young for his species.
For his, so you could technically say he's throwing a temper tantrum.
Does he leave the village a lot? Has he left a lot since these events started?
He's in the woods searching with the rangers every day.
He sounds like a good one to follow.
Well, Richard, I'm sorry for the commotion. Tell
I
the-
think
Tell
Think
that
nothing of it.
kind, and Oscar does air quotes, gentleman that his next drink is on me, with the message, see you soon.
And Eldon
And-
simply says,
Oscar
"Thank you,
leaves.
sir." Eldon simply says, "Thank you for your time and your drink, sir." And he walks on over here waiting for ink.
Waiting for ink.
Yeah, Oscar went to bed, so
All right, so Oscar, you walked out of the tavern side, and you walked around to the front of the building to the other open door. Because if you remember, this tavern also doubles as a inn. The only thing is the tavern and the inn are kept separate.
yeah.
Let me pull that picture back up real quick. Where did it go? Oh, this one. All right,
Yep.
so the number 1 on the far right and number 2, that's where the tavern is. You walk out of there and walk around to the south and to the west a little bit towards the main entrance to the inn. The clerk
Okay.
hands you a key because she's already been informed of your runes by Jenkins, and you just walk up to your room and you have a nice rest of your evening.
Thank you.
All right, back to the rest of you. As you're sitting there waiting for ink, Jenkins walks over and sits down. Grinroll and Richard continuing their talk. You hear them laughing a little bit too loudly. And Jenkins goes, "Well, that was a little entertaining."
People who use their scars of their past for an excuse to be assholes do not understand the way of the world and need to be taught
Oh,
a lesson.
oh, trust me, I've taught him a lesson or two.
Glad to hear it.
He didn't used to be like that. The war, it changes people, some for the better, some for the worse. You and I are I'm unchanged mostly, but you, I can definitely tell, have been more affected by, even with your own demons, but the fight, you've turned out better in the end. He, on the other hand, is not so lucky. He used to be such a bright and cheerful young man. I say young. He's older than me, but young elf. I'm hoping that one day someone will quite literally beat some sense back into him. But if no one does, that owl of his will keep pecking his head, and hopefully one day it will knock some sense into him.
Eldon in character laughs at that one. That was pretty cool. And then he, busts up laughing just like that.
Yeah, people don't realize common owls are not smart, but the owls of the Ottaviano family are quite intelligent.
I was
going to
ask you about that owl, Jenkins.
Oh, and I looks really intrigued.
Why did that owl seem to have such a personality and try to watch over him? Is he like a guardian to the boy?
That family, they're known to have familiars. They all seem to take the shape of owls, and from what I can gather, it's a family of owls. They formed an old pack centuries ago, not unlike warlocks, but they more try to teach the members of the family lessons whenever they need it. But it seems like young Thomas is trying to ignore the lessons of Uther there.
In your professional opinion, Jenkins, do you think the boy can be changed and saved from his own demons, or is he going to spend the rest of his 300 years in torment?
Everyone can change. Like I said, he was once a happy young elf. He, like Richard, I think, said it best. He's a pompous ass right now. So, most of the people give him a wide breath and just ignore him.
Eldon just nods contently. He's content now. He's calmed down. He thinks of the owl pecking his head. It brings a small smirk to his face, and he just keeps drinking. As he
says that, you hear a yelp from outside, and you hear, "Stop it, Uther!" in a slightly high-pitched voice, like a little bit higher pitched than you would expect.
Uh-huh.
And Oscar is still walking away laughing. You just hear randomly here.
Oscar got a front row seat to that.
You lucky son of a bitch.
Oscar is like, ah!
Well, Eldon is completely relaxed now and is just back to enjoying himself, So, yeah. He's waiting for the other one, since he's gonna walk him home, make sure they're alright. Not that Ink really needs protection, but little Onai here doesn't need to go wandering off and playing music for like a werewolf, thinking it's a pet dog.
Alright, so Ink, you notice while you're reading that Jorana stands up, stretches a little bit, puts her book in her satchel to her side, and says, Have a good night, young Tabaxon. I'll see you in the morning."
She kind of nods absentmindedly and flips the page.
And she walks out, waves goodbye to Jenkins and Richard, and did not mean to stretch her. There you go.
Squish.
Terrible.
And she walks out and heads home. All right, so Jenkins stands up and he's like, "Well, it's getting late, my friends. I am going to bed. I will see y'all around. If y'all wish to travel with me further, I'm leaving town in a few days to head to Zegrith. and then from there we'll be making our way back down here to then head west to some of the to the Old Mount Trading Post to the west, and then I think my time here will be done. But you all are free to stay the night. I've already paid for one night's room for you. And he lays down a couple of bags of coin on the table. And I said, "This is payment for your services. Eldon, Onai, would you please be a dear and make sure Oscar gets his payment?"
Sure
Of
thing.
course.
Eldon hands it to Onai to make sure he doesn't, swipe it and use it for beer.
Onai takes it, and she's like, I'll give it to him, don't worry.
Yes, here you go.
All right,
It's
one
yours.
second.
As I actually move my hand out in real life to hand it to you.
I'm trying to find a piece of paper I had, because
How much gold is it so I can update my
what-
thing?
that's what I was about to say. So, you see Grenroll and Jenkins say their goodbyes to Richard and Jasper. Linda kind of rings out and just yells goodbye at him. Oddly enough, though, before Jenkins walks out, he stops, and you see him head over to Elandi real quick. And you see them, you see Elandi toss him a small pouch, and you see Jenkins give him drop a couple of platinum pieces in his hand before leaving.
No.
And then Grinroll follows him, and they head over to the inn and get a good night's sleep. So, as you open the bag, you all see. You count out the pieces real quick. And you count out 250 gold pieces.
Oh, damn.
Damn.
In each bag.
Each
And
bag?
you'll remember, yep, and y'all remember that Jenkins paid you 15 gold per day, and he hired you for 14 days. But you notice that, y'all do the math real quick, and you realize that he's overpaid you. He's given you a 40 gold piece bonus.
Ooh.
I think we gotta return this. This is a lot of gold.
Richard laughs at that while he's cleaning mugs, and he's like, "Don't. That man has more money than he knows what to do with."
Oh. She's like, I feel bad taking it.
So
It's
250.
a lot more than...
Yep, and Onai, Eldon, roll a perception check for me, as well as
Oh, yeah, my first roll of the night.
Oh, my
Nat
perception
20.
sucks.
Nat 20 plus 1.
Hey, I actually did a good perception check. Holy
Wait,
shit.
let me check. Is it
And
really plus
investigation, you said, Max?
yeah, perception it's fine.
Okay.
You both notice that attached to each bag is either a tassel or a charm. You're not quite sure what it is, but you notice that the charms and some of the cloth has runes written on it. Let me see. Sybil kind of sees it as well, and she's like, "Wait a minute. Onai, would you mind if I take a look at that tassel real quick?"
She hands it to her.
Of course it does.
And she kind of examines it a little bit, and she's like, she really looks at it, and she's like, "There's no way, no." And it's like, "Jenkins, oh my God, you clever bastard!
What? What do you do?
He's given you all a charm, that to help bolster your strength a little bit. These are some stuff that the wizards in the war would hand out to the average soldiers. The mercenary groups are like us would get these as well. You'd either affix it to a weapon or your armor or a shield, and it would give you a little bit of an edge, so to speak. It's mostly because not every group had a wizard that could support and boost everyone like the Asimar did. We had to kind of fend for ourselves, but the wizards, with everything, wanted to give us all a slight edge, so they came up with these. And as the DM, these are tokens that you all have gotten. Ink, yours is in the shape of a kind of like a little scroll, kind of wrapped up together. Eldon, yours is a another little scroll with some fine thread wrapped around it, hanging it down like a little tassel. Same thing with everyone else's. It's kind of, they're like little charms, and they essentially add a +1 to either a, depending on what you put it to. If you put it on your armor, it gives you a +1 to your AC. If you put it on a shield, it makes your shield a +2, a +1 shield. Weapon goes up by 1 on to attack. It doesn't help damage. It just helps you succeed on a hit.
So I could increase my armor class by 1.
Yep. If you affix it to your armor.
We're just gonna go ahead and say that's what I do with it.
Okay.
So let me make a note of that so I keep track of it as well.
Okay.
I know this is weird, but Onai has a lot of earrings. Could I somehow make this an earring? Because she just collects them.
Yeah, that's not a problem. It will
Yes,
act.
that's awesome.
It would act to help bolster your AC a little bit
Yeah, I figured.
because you would be wearing it, so it would help with your armor.
Or would that be like a dexterity thing? Or a choice?
No, it's either going to be affixed to you as a
Armor
to
or
armor
weapon?
or a weapon. And for weapon,
Okay.
it doesn't increase damage. It just increases your chance to hit.
Yes. Alright. I'm just gonna say ahead of time, Oscar attaches it to his, like, gauntlet, I'll say, and boost his AC.
And I
Okay.
can make an earring for you too. No.
He pops out like a gem that's in his, like, gauntlet of armor or whatever and puts it in that slot rather than that. There
I
you go.
now have an armor class of 18. Hells to the yeah.
How much do I have?
I got 11. That punch might have not hit me if I got this earlier.
No,
Oh my God.
it still would have
I
because
still would have, yeah.
yeah, it would have to been one less because in order for it to hit, it would either have to be to match your AC or higher.
It would have matched if that
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he would have hit you.
And honestly, like I never rolled on that, so as a DM, he was going to hit you no matter what. You would have had to roll I would have had to I was rolling just to see if he critically failed. So,
I wonder what would have happened if he critically failed. I'm like,
It would have been
Hey.
really funny.
I'm pretty
fight
sure
would've-
the bartender would have broken up anything.
Oh yeah, a fight would have happened. You all would have started to fight, and then Richard would have come over and knocked you all out.
Yeah.
oh.
I didn't think there was a way around that once Richard was involved.
So, you all, Ink kind of finishes her book a little bit, at least to the point where she feels comfortable to kind of go back to her room. She walks over. Do y'all hand her pouch or anything?
Yes.
Okay.
What is this?
It's payment from Jenkins.
Oh, you can buy more books. I mean,
And she
I can buy more books.
and Onai tells her about the charm.
Ooh.
And I assume that you have fist wraps on.
Yeah.
You could either put it in your fist wraps and it will count +1 to hit for damage, or you could kind of put it in your sash to help you increase your AC. It's up to you.
I will put it in my sash.
Okay.
We all did AC.
I mean, we all
AC is
have
way
shitty AC.
Well, except for me, but I'm supposed to be the damn tank, so I kind of need high AC.
I have a decent armor class for someone who's wearing a magenta quilt thing. I forgot what it's called.
Hey, we matched, and I have a 2-2.
I can't believe.
Oh my gosh.
All right. So, you all leave. You all go back, walk across the
Night,
front of the
Sybil.
building. Good night. And she kind of walks out as well. She walks over to Richard real quick. They exchange a few words as you leave. And you see Jasper kind of walking out behind you. and she heads north a little bit, while you guys head south.
Alright.
All right, and you never saw Alande leave. Linda was in the back. So yeah.
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah. We're all sleeping now?
Yep, you're all in your room sleeping. Go ahead, everyone, and roll a perception check for me.
Give me the nat 20.
Why do you keep giving me the
That's
ones
a
that I
30.
suck at? God.
14. Wait,
Oh,
let me
see,
make
there
sure
I go
that-
again. Back to the 5s. Awesome.
Don't worry, I was worse than you, Sam.
Oh, great. We're both gonna die.
Ink, you are up a little bit beyond everyone else. Just reading your book, you managed to finish it before turning out. You hear. Let me
I'm
remind
not
myself
even there.
where.
Why did I roll?
No, you're all in the inn right now. You're all in your
Oh.
respective rooms, so you all rolled. So let me just remind myself where you all are. All right, 14 and 16. All right, Oscar and Ink, you hear what sounds like howls coming from the west. Just a cacophony of wolves and other, monstrous noises. They don't seem to be getting closer. They're just constant howls. Jason, you had, in the safety of your own room, taken off your heavy armor, and for the first time in a couple of weeks, since you have been trying to keep your own vigil every night, you pass out in the deepest sleep that you've had in a while.
Wow.
Wolf, you're blissfully ignorant.
Yep. I don't care. I'm in an inn. I don't need to care.
You're just asleep.
That innocence, there it goes again.
Yep. But other than the wolves howling to the west, nothing else happens. You hear the creaks of the people walking around at odd hours of the day. Some people go into the communal bathroom, so to speak. But yeah, the rest of the evening passes uneventfully. You all get a full night's sleep, and the morning comes.
Hey.
Now it's up to you what you want to do.
Oscar, you know where we're going today.
Damn right!
We're out. We're okay.
Bye, guys. See you later. As he's like
We've been-
waving the most flamboyant way, he's just like flailing his arm in the air, just like.
Oh, and I'm skipping backwards next to him and waving with both hands. Wait, what was it? Go.
While they do that, Eldon's
We're
gonna
going to
go
the
out to the
warming pot.
forest.
Yeah.
We're going to the warming pot.
Eldon's
Yep.
out in the
Okay.
forest.
Okay. Ink, we all know what you want to do, but
I mean, I got up at the crack of dawn, so I was gone before any of you guys. And I
Oh,
was
yes.
patiently sitting shitting.
uh,
I also have been drinking. No, sitting cross-legged, out front of the bookshop / library.
okay.
That's all.
Let's start with Ink real quick, because I have a feeling that's probably going to be the easiest encounter, especially with Onai and
Encounter.
Oscar going to the warming pot.
Uh-huh.
We've had this planned out for days.
We really have.
You're gonna lose to the DM. I foresee it.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
I might not be ready for that encounter.
Oh.
You will enjoy the encounter.
Oh, I'm sure I will, but
Oh, cool! You pulled the map up. I was looking for it.
Sweet.
yeah. So
Actually, I'm gonna change what Oscar is doing. He's looking for Margaret, or what's her name?
Margaret. Her name
Yeah,
is Margaret.
He's looking for Margaret. So he's.
You
just
said
sort of-
Oscar. You're Eldon. Don't tell me-
Eldon is looking for Margaret.
Don't tell me what I'm doing.
Wait, what have
I'm
you been drinking?
I'm currently skipping to the warming pot with Onai, holding hands like.
And,
La-di-da-di-da.
and Eldon's
Tea
gonna
time.
end this session looking for her so that he gives the DM time to potentially write stuff for her so he doesn't blindside him.
Okay, so I want Oscar and Onai to quickly do a performance check for me.
Oh,
Yes!
shit.
This is what I'm good at. Give me the nat 20.
Both
Oh,
fail.
I got a +2 in that.
I have a +4 in that.
16.
I think it's 4 at
Don't
least.
worry, I will perform so hard for both of us.
I got a +5, so I got an 11.
Okay.
A bard who can't perform.
Hey, I got a nat 20 the other day. You shut up.
So, you two are skipping across town, and you look like you're in I'm tripping over my own words here. You look like you're in a ballerina performance. I mean,
Yes.
Oscar, you're picking up Onai, doing a pirouette across the street.
Onai's totally going with it. Like, I think she doesn't know ballet. She's learned a little thing here and there about ballet.
If Eldon is anywhere near this, he is V-lining it away from it as fast as he can.
They quite literally sped out of the inn that morning, leaving you quite literally in their dust.
Good. I didn't want to see that.
So you cross in front of the school and you see the kids just stop playing ball. One little kid, a ball hits him in the face, while everyone just stares at you all.
I'm fucking crying.
All right. So, Ink has been sitting in front of the Pied Piper all since dawn. It's just slightly past the point where the sun's cresting over the forest around Rhinesheart. That you hear jostling going on behind the door, and the window shade opens up, and the door opens, and it kind of runs into you as the door opens outward. And you're quite literally sitting in front of the door.
Yeah, I quickly jump up. John, I can't talk today. Jump up.
Do a acrobatics check for me.
Okay. Here we go. Okay. Oh, it did went. It was just lagging. Sorry,
No,
it
it's
was the
fine.
first one, obviously.
Yeah,
the first one.
we're going with the first one. You leap back. The door never touches you, and you startle Jorana a little bit. She's, oh, you're actually here before dawn. Hi.
Yes.
Well, come on in. We got plenty of books. She turns around and starts walking in. As she said, just feel free to look around for a few minutes. I am gonna open up the windows so that we can get some light in here.
Is it like that scene from Beauty and the Beast where Belle first sees the library? Because I feel like it's a scene from Beauty and the
If
Beast.
you want it to,
It's gonna be.
okay.
And Jorana's my beast, and we're gonna be happily ever after or something. Yeah, I don't even know where to start. There's books everywhere.
Yeah, there's books everywhere.
I'm just gonna like touch all the books. It's gonna like go
So,
like all over the shelf.
After a
and just
few
look
minutes,
at the titles.
Jorana, open up all the blinds, and you get plenty of light in here to see. She walks over and say, "Well,
Yeah, it was Freya.
okay. Sorry, I just heard one of our dogs, and I was like,
Uh-huh.
well, that's odd." But she kind of explains that one part of the building is the library where people come and enjoy books for free.
Ooh.
You can sit here and read it as much as you want, or you can check it out, kind of like you did with the other book.
Oh, speaking of which,
She hands it.
I have learned much from this book.
Very good. I'm
Here it's
impressed.
back. I'm really, and I kind of hold on to it like for an extra second, so she has to kind of try to tug it out of my hand. 'Cause I'm not used to the concept of like, this free / trade, whatever. Anyway, and then I let it go, but
And she
it took me a minute.
she puts it on the shelf, and she just happened to be in the right section, and she slides it in between two other books. But she explains that this section is for free. This is a little library for people who donated books they no longer need, and anyone is welcome to come and read. They belong to the town itself once they become part of the library. If you damage the book in any way, you will pay full price for the book, even if it's used and falling apart. I and my father try to repair any books that are damaged to make sure they last longer. Anything that's severely damaged, we contact one of the scholars in town and get them to essentially transcribe them, make a copy of the book, so we can put it back into circulation in the library. And then we keep the original in storage just in case it is ever needed again. And then she points to another section, a small little door that leads to a smaller part in the back. She said, and over there is our actual bookstore. Anything there you're welcome to peruse and actually buy. And you get to take that book because you've actually paid for it. So please, every aisle has a certain section. We have fiction, nonfiction. We have how-to books. We have arcana. We have military. We have history. We have pretty much anything you want to. We even got a children's book section if you'd like.
Okay. I'm gonna go to like the edge of the end of the row. I'm gonna pull the first book and I'm gonna start reading that one.
All right. So you spend the better part of the afternoon sitting in there reading. You managed to. Let's see. You managed to find a book on nature. It takes you the whole day to kind of go through it. Alright, so it's the book on beasts, the common monsters and animals that live in the area. And you also kind of find another book that talks about some more magical actual beasts, not just animals. And you kind of become a little familiar with some of the creatures. So I will give you a list of creatures after a while. And whenever you come across them, you'll be able to know and recognize one or two of the creatures on your journeys. This includes resistances and immunities as well as any vulnerabilities they might have, as far as known stuff. Obviously, you're not going to know everything about every creature, but I'll say, let me roll a d4 real quick. You will know three creatures. After reading all day and with your impeccable memory, you'll know, have this information for 3 months for three creatures that I determined. I will, we'll handle that after because y'all will we're on to half an hour, so I have a feeling that the other two stuff is going to take a while. So we're not going to get into any fighting or any actual forest adventures with ink, but you and Jorana have nice conversations about the different animals that you're reading, and let me know. I will come up with a list for books that you could possibly buy or try to find in the actual bookstore if you would like to buy books. You won't have time to read them right away, but they will be in your inventory if you so wish.
Yeah. For now, she's just reading the book.
Yep. All right. Let's see. Give me a second. Let me see if I can compose myself.
Breathe.
Okay, let me find.
Are you ready, Oscar?
Hold on, we gotta do the finishing touch. Since we rolled pretty well, we get to the warming pot and I just do a bow behind me, hoping anybody saw it.
Oh, no, I'm out as well.
You see an old couple who are walking arm in arm stop and just.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
And then they kind of tilt their head a little bit and they walk on.
And I looks at Oscar.
Yes.
Alright, give me just a moment. Okay, so you walk up to the warming pot. You can find. put this back up on the screen. So it's a series of 3 buildings. They all, the one in the center looks like a giant tea kettle. The 2 off to the side kind of look like teapots. The 2 teapots kind of have canvas dropped around the top of them. It's kind of open, kind of protecting it from the elements, though. The architecture does not match anything in this town. If Eldon was here, he would recognize it from the eastern, from the dynasty to the west. I mean, to the east a little bit.
Of course I do.
Yeah.
But I'm not there to realize it.
Nope. But you do know that from seeing it on your trip in. But you're not there to make comment on it to Oscar and Onai.
Cool.
But what do y'all do? There's several tables out in front. You see a lot of people enjoying tea. You see different waitresses coming and going with pots of tea and little snacks. So a soup here and there.
Where's Sama?
Do a investigation check for
He
me.
called out sick today, right? I'm calling this the waitress.
I swear
He
to
called
God,
out
if
sick.
this is his way, hold on. I swear to God, if this is Max's way of getting out of this conversation, I'm not backing down.
We'll find them. Wait, should I roll one too? Are we both looking?
Yeah, both of you roll investigation checks.
Investigation.
Give me the good rolls. That's a 1, so I see nothing. Oscar, I don't know where they are.
You don't even know if we're in a fucking teapot or not. You probably think we're in a real teapot.
We are, aren't we?
I slightly have an idea.
Are you sure we're not in a real teapot, Oscar?
I think you're still in your room, Onai.
Is it hot in here?
I'm pretty sure I'm dreaming.
Anyway. I got a 12. It's in the chat.
I see it. So, right off the bat, you don't see Soma. You don't see the individual that you saw the day before. You don't know their name right now.
Sorry.
But you don't see the same tall, slender gnome with the white hair and the fanciful clothes. But you do see a older gentleman kind of sitting on the steps of the middle building, just talking with a couple of the waitresses, and they keep going back and forth, and you kind of see him stirring hot water and pouring in different leaves and different flowers into different cups.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of you could assume that he is probably the owner of this establishment.
Okay. This is like out of character. Or, well, I guess it could be in character. Do you want to ask him where to go?
If you ask him, then sure.
Excuse me, fella.
Oh, yes. Welcome to the warming pot. My name is Asashi. Can I
That's a
interest
really
you?
pretty name.
Thank you, my dear. And what is yours?
Onai.
Oh, that's quite lovely.
Thank you.
My name's Oscar. And I just had a quick question for you, my fella.
Yes.
First off, I would like some tea, but after I just ask my quick question, have you seen I'm pretty sure they're a gnome
Oh, damn.
about yay high, whitish hair.
I'm pretty
Oh,
sure
you
it was.
mean-
I think it was white hair, Oscar.
Was it white hair? I don't
Yeah.
remember.
I think it was.
Asai, sorry, I pronounced it wrong. Asai.
You
He
have
kind of chuckles a little bit. And he says, "Oh, you're talking about Sama.
Yes, some.
Sama will be in within the next half hour or so. If you would like, you could wait for Sama while we fix you up some tea. What would you have?"
This sounds delightful. Can I have some? You know what? Just bring me tea with honey. That works for me.
Okay. He starts filling around with some leaves, and he's like, "Green tea and honey it is." My dear
Thank you.
Onai, what would you like?
I'll have green tea too, with a lot of sugar.
odd request, but I can accommodate. And,
Thank you.
And he flags down one of his attendants, and she shows you to your seat. It's like your traditional Japanese tea house where you sit on the tama mats and everything. So, Oscar, you have a little difficulty, but once you get your knees underneath the table, you feel it kind of drop below, and you're comfortable.
I just plop.
Onai's laughing really hard at Oscar. Or she's trying not to, but failing.
I'm too big.
Well, you kind of look around, and you see a lot of the patrons are gnome or halfling. With the with one elf off to the side a little bit.
If there's anything I know about, like, and grass, so this is an odd place to be.
Yeah, we're sure out of place here now, aren't we?
Yeah, very much.
As you say that, you see a couple of soldiers, human soldiers, walk up. They wave over to Asai, and they all sit down on a table across the way. And
Uh-oh.
All right, I feel much better now.
Me too? Question mark?
Okay.
Then the waitress brings over and says, "Here you go. It's not the busy hour right now, so please stay as long as you want. If you want any food or anything to snack on, we have a menu on the table. Just let us know if you want anything."
Thank you.
Thanks.
And you sit there and you enjoy your tea. It's honestly it's perfectly brewed. And it's just playful in your mouth, essentially.
Anna's like, I didn't know tea could be this good, but it can, and I'm actually amazed.
You know, I don't have tea that often back in the village, so this is nice.
Dude, tea's great.
All right, so y'all sit around for a few minutes, and about 15 minutes pass. You get a few more people start showing up, start ordering their drinks and some food, and people come and go after a little bit. And then you see around the corner a fancifully dressed, white-haired gnome.
Mission start.
All
She
right.
said really quietly.
Sharing the photo out to you guys. Let me know if y'all got it.
We did.
I've had all these photos up, ready to go. Like, I pulled up everybody's photos that I wanted to talk to today. So.
All right. So, whereas the day before, Sama was wearing a kind of white and red ensemble. Today, they're wearing a teal and kind of like a pale yellow, almost golden, almost. But Sama walks up. Doesn't acknowledge anyone, walks up to Asai, bows, and takes over for Asai, while he makes his rounds around the tea house, thanking patrons for coming in, asking a few of the soldiers how their families are doing, how goes the hunts in the woods. But you see Sama just sitting there, stone-faced, just minding their work.
Are they able to, like, do I notice if they can acknowledge me if I, like, wave them down, or should I go up to them?
You can definitely try.
All right, I wave for, like, to get an attention, like my hand up, and
one of the attendants walk over. Yes, do you need something?
do you mind getting me Sama there? And just grabbing their attention.
Your friends with Sama.
More like acquaintances, but yes.
Okay,
We don't have-
go. Yes.
What? Yes?
What? I'm sorry, I cut you off, ma'am.
Oh, we just want to talk to Sama.
Okay, I will go let Master Sama know that someone is here would like to speak with them. Be right back. And you see the attendant walk over to Sama, tap them on the shoulder, and kind of whisper down over to him, and you see Sama kind of lean back a little bit, kind of stand up, and gets the attendant to man the warming pot essentially.
Oh no!
And
Notice they said them. Notice they said them.
Oh my gosh.
We got this, Oscar. We got this.
Okay, so as you're sitting there, both just panically talking to each other in hushed voices, you see the individual, the white-haired gnome, walk over to you. One second, let me find something. There we go. And
Yes, my attendant said that you were looking for me.
Jesus Christ, that scared me.
Beautiful.
So
Yes.
can
I look at Onai first.
Well, yes. Ma'am. Sir. Ma'am. Sir.
Please, my name
Excuse-
is Sama. It's nice to make your acquaintance.
Okay.
Excuse me, let me just. Well, it's nice to meet you too. My name is Oscar. I'm Goliath. But anyway, I will ask for my friend here who seems to have broken. And excuse my rudeness. Are
Okay, his
you?
covers are very good.
Excuse my rudeness. Are you a male, female gender, or are you like in between? Neither. Like, what's the deal? Just, I don't mean it in a rude way. In a curious way.
Sama just tilts their head just a little bit to the side, but then kind of looks kind of eye level with you because where you're standing from, Sama is actually at eye level with you.
Jesus Christ, I'm too tall.
Wow.
Sama is Sama. I don't understand the question.
Oscar's like zoned out, like eyes are wide, and he's like,
Ona's looking at Oscar and she sees him and she's trying so hard not to laugh at him.
Sounds like she's laughing plenty.
Sama is gonna kind of wave their hand in front of Oscar's face.
Are you okay?
yes. You know, that wasn't the answer I really was hoping for. But like, so
You kind of see Sama just smirk a little bit.
I'm just fucking with you.
oh, thank Christ.
Ona's like, we've been confused since yesterday.
I have been nervous about that. I was like, it's something I don't know. But please continue.
Sorry, I'm trying not to crack up over here.
Oscar is like as Sama's quiet. Oscar's like doing like the trying to like point it out, like hand gestures, like and now.
Let me start over from the beginning.
Okay.
My name is Sama.
Yep.
I like to... how to put this? Mess with people.
Mhm.
I think we've thoroughly been messed with. You're doing your job well.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you did a very good job at that.
Since yesterday, I can speak.
I'm in fact a man,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't care what gender you are, or anything of that matter.
Well, thank you for answering the question. I was very nervous about this since yesterday because I didn't really want to
Like,
jump to a
literally-
conclusion.
we've been talking about this nonstop for a while now. Like, we did not know. We were so confused.
And I honestly did not want to be rude.
I
No.
greatly appreciate that. Most people just assume that I am one or the other without even taking the time to ask.
You know, some people are so ignorant. Damn it, I can't do this.
Oh my gosh.
Are you okay?
That was out of character. I'm sorry. That scared me. I was like, no. Oscar's still sitting here like perfectly fine, like, yeah, but no, like inside, Gothy like dying. Like,
R.I.P. Gothy.
Gothy's like dying right here.
Wolf almost fell out of her chair laughing.
The conversation itself isn't funny. It's the fact that I have to make Oscar funny.
Oh my goodness.
So, well,
Someone's gonna look at you real quick.
Well, if you, depending on which way you swing.
Oscar looks at Owen and I very confused.
I could technically be whatever you want me to be.
And I looks at Oscar and looks at Sama and shrugs. She smiles at Oscar.
Oscar's jaw's like to the ground, like, like in his head, he's like,
Oh my god.
how do I say? I'll take a rain check, and then he just sits down, like flops down.
Oh
Oh,
my
no,
god.
Oh, and I does an eyebrow wiggle at Oscar. Oh my god.
Oh
This should
my
go
Sama
Fuck.
takes out a piece of paper real quick and
Fuck me.
a pen.
Apparently he
my
does
God.
want to.
Are you ever smiling so bad that your cheeks start to hurt? Because my cheeks hurt so bad right now.
And you see Sama just writing something down on the piece of paper, folds it up.
Oh, is this
and
your messenger
hands it
pigeon?
and hands it to Oscar.
I open it.
Before
And-
you open it, Sama's like, just wait till you enjoy your fill. Hold on with me, with this.
Just wait until you enjoy the rest of your tea. You don't have to open that up now. If you'll excuse me, I need to get back to work.
Thank you. Thank you for your
You both
time.
have a wonderful evening.
You too.
Or morning.
You
It was nice meeting you both.
Yeah.
You too.
Oh no, what the fuck just happened?
When I head is on the table, and
Okay, so as Sama walks away, you're free to open up the envelope, the little note.
Oh,
Do you open it or do you keep it closed?
mm.
And tune in next week for the continuation of this episode.
We got time. We got time.
no,
Oh, I know.
Everybody's gonna hate me, but we'll. I have a feeling
Will you drop, man?
it's a cliffhanger. I hate cliffhangers. I hate myself if I open it.
You gotta open it, man.
Okay. You open it, and on it, you just says, "For a Goliath, you are pretty gullible."
Oh.
And it says, "That is cute, but I am actually a woman."
Oh, nice on the floor.
Oscar found his true love.
Oh, and I can't. She's
Hold
just
on.
dead.
Oscar's story ends here.
Can Oscar look up and see Sama looking at me opening it or anything? Is there any way Sama sees me open it?
She or he, you're still greatly confused. Turn as you're opening it, you see them looking over at you, and you just see them shake their head and smirk a little bit while they fill another order of tea.
And I just stare into the distance like I don't know. and I just whisper, "Well played." And I put the note on the table.
Oh
and
my
pay for my tea.
gosh.
Onai gets up, she takes a sip of tea, and she's like, I don't know whether to be confused or I don't know anymore.
You're telling me.
Mission failed.
Mission failed. We'll get him next time.
Will we?
Don't worry, we have a couple days here. I'm coming back.
Oh my god. We'll figure it out, Oscar. Don't worry. We'll get this. She pats
Alright.
Oscar on the shoulder. We'll get it.
Oscar takes his note, I guess, finishes his tea. I'll pay, and I'm gonna head out of there. I
Hey.
guess. There's
The
not.
prices are really reasonable. You both need to mark off 1 silver.
Oh.
One
silver.
whole silver.
That's less than gold.
Yes, it is, Gothy.
Trust me, this is probably the best tea house in all of Revney.
All right, so
I was about to say.
I give a gold piece and say, "Keep the change," and I walk away.
So you just quite literally say, keep the change just to no one as you walk away.
Mona looks at Oscar really confused. If Sama's looking as they leave, she waves bye and follows Oscar.
Sama waves back at you.
Oh my gosh.
Son of a bitch! It didn't
And,
work.
What are we gonna do?
I don't know, but this is a
Find out next
handwritten
time on
document.
Dragon Ball D&D.
Yes.
This is a written document, okay?
Are we ever gonna know? They're doing the best job at messing with people. I'm thoroughly messed with. I don't know what's going on anymore.
It's
Let me
better
tell
than
you.
doing this. Okay.
Let me tell you
Yes.
right now,
Oh my God.
Oscar is.
Oh no.
Let me tell you, Oscar is 100% gullible because he believes whatever the paper says now. Because the paper says he's gullible.
Onai doesn't know whether to believe the paper or Sama. She's so confused.
Well, I'm thinking Oscar didn't say that
He didn't.
because the note was handed to me.
Did he show Onai the note?
I don't know. I don't know. I wanna make it so he didn't.
I think it's one of his treasured possessions now that he is going to hold on
No,
forever.
no. I want Oscar to like keep this in the back of his mind and think about it more, but he doesn't know how to like. I don't know.
Then Onai believes Sama's a he. She believes they got the mission. Mission
So
accomplished.
you think it's a he? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Then I'm gonna just agree with you until further notice.
Thumbs up. I didn't like
Thumbs up.
snap your thumbs up, but you guys can't see it, so just imagine
I'll
it.
probably end up telling you in further episode like we're in this town for a while according to what I'm hearing. So
We'll be at the warming pot, and we'll just be sitting there, and he's like, "Oh, by the way, Sama gave me this note the first time we talked to them."
yeah. Oh yeah. Here, just so you know.
And Onai's eyes are just gonna be like, I'm so confused.
What do I do with this information?
Yes. What will you do with that information?
I don't know. We'll find out next time.
Exactly.
This is one of the rare times that Onai will need alcohol.
Oh my
Oscar,
Get
Yeah.
prepared
Glass.
for horrible karaoke.
What do you
night.
mean a glass? Hand her a spoon.
I said flask.
Oh.
Hand her a spoon.
Nah, I'd put
Don't
it in a
waste
little
good
turkey
alcohol.
baster.
Don't waste good
Really?
alcohol, Oscar.
Dude, I'd put it in an eyedropper.
All right. So,
That's
Onai,
it.
Oscar, where are y'all headed to next?
Where? I know we had a few people we wanted to talk to.
Cleric.
Yeah.
Eldon
Oscar
said,
wanted to
I
talk
say
to
out of
Graves.
character, there's a cleric. And I'm going to be looking for the girl. You should probably go find that homeboy.
Oscar wanted to talk. Well, the thing is, I only I only told Max about like that conversation.
Yeah.
Well, not that one. I told him about Elande, and then I told him I wanted to talk to Sama, but it would have been fun for him to not know.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let you know about next time. I don't know who else to talk to, unless I.
Okay.